OnePlus 15. We've both been using this device for around about a month now, and this thing is an absolute spec beast. Like, this is one of the fastest smartphones in the world. OnePlus have really just stacked this up. We've got the world's first 1.5K 165 hertz display. It's one of the first devices powered by the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5 in India, Europe, and North America. It's got a triple chip setup, which we'll talk about in a little bit, a massive 7,300 milliamp hour silicon NanoStack battery. I mean, this thing is absolutely stacked. And it's got a new design as well. So OnePlus are calling this a 2-generation upgrade. We'll start off with the design. I mean, personally, I quite like it. It's simple. It's not like something crazy or fancy. They've kind of gone away from what they had on the OnePlus 13. Fresh new design, looks exactly like the Oppo Find X9 Pro, right? So literally they look like twins. Obviously, Oppo and OnePlus, they are from the same company. So we do see that crossover there. But I wonder, have you tried putting a case of of the Oppo Find X9 Pro onto the OnePlus 15? You're doing that right now. Okay, here's a live test. Does it work? Or have they just moved some buttons slightly? So it
Yes. So the sorry, what do you call it again? The mute button is basically blocked on the side here. This side here is fully open, so you can access those buttons. And then the camera cutout is basically larger on the Oppo compared to the OnePlus.
Interesting. Okay, so they changed it just enough. So it's one of those, can I copy your home button? Yeah, sure. Just change it enough so people, can't tell that you copied. And it's like, yeah, sure. Here you go.
Yeah, but side by side,
that's pretty much what happened.
This is what the phones look like.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like the design. The colors as well. Like, we've got the sandstorm, we've got the ultraviolet, we've got the infinite black. The infinite black is the most interesting because it's resists fingerprints. And I also thought that I was like, this is getting scratched up very easily. But all of those scratches just rub off straight away, which is really interesting.
Nice.
And it's also, I mean, they've gone for all of the IP ratings. Like, it's just like, it's kind of like if they were asking OnePlus, which IP rating would you like for the OnePlus 15? And the answer was yes.
Yeah.
Because it's got IP55, IP 60, 66, 68, 69, 69K. Half of these, I don't even know what they are, right?
If you got an IP, we will take it.
Yeah, it's like, just give us all, which IPs, all of them. Give us all the IPs that you have, right? So you can put it into water for 2 meters, up from 1.5. And it can also resist high pressure as well as hot liquid resistance as well. So pretty good on the design side of things, I would say. Obviously, design is subjective. But the key thing, Ian, this is something that I'm very interested to hear your opinion on, is the performance, right? So it's one of the first smartphones in the world with the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5. It's also one of the first devices in the world with LPDDR5X Ultra Pro. I couldn't even say it. That's how crazy this is. LPDDR5X Ultra Plus RAM. Okay, 16 gigabytes of that, 360 cryo velocity cooling, 5,731 millimeters squared vapor chamber, right? Triple chip setup. So they've got the Snapdragon 8 Elite Gen 5, a dedicated touch response chip, as well as an advanced Wi-Fi chip. Now, in my experience of using this for performance, it's been absolutely crazy. Like, it's one of the fastest smartphones in the world. What do you think?
I mean, for performance, I'm showing you guys the Geekbenchmark scores here. It absolutely cakes. 3,596 single core, 10,136 multi-core GPU scores are 24,000. It's up there. I have a video that is going live now as we are recording, and it's basically a Snapdragon versus MediaTek. It's basically Oppo versus the OnePlus, because it's a very easy and almost equally balanced comparison. Gaming performance is great, and one thing is they did mention that it does, the display, it goes up to 165 hertz, which means you can get up to 165 frames per second in certain games. One of them is Call of Duty Mobile, not a graphically intensive game, yes, but it does that flawlessly and smooth. Now, the one thing I noticed while gaming is my temperature did not go past 102, which is very, very low for the amount of gaming I played. And then we'll get to battery life in a second. I can just tell you, if you're gaming with battery life on this thing and you're concerned about charging it and then using it for the rest of the day, throw those concerns away. Just let
So
it go.
firstly, let me just convert the Fahrenheit. 102 is 39 degrees Celsius. So sorry,
Sorry.
I have to do
My
that.
bad, 39.
I mean, so there you go. From a performance standpoint, this is an absolute beast. The display, 6.78 inches. The bezels are tiny, right?
Mhm.
Uniform bezels all around. And it's the world's first 1.5K 165 hertz display. That's what OnePlus told me. That yes, we've had 1080p displays that go up to 165 hertz, but this is the first at 1.5K. So amazing. It can also go all the way down to 0.5 nits with PWM dimming at 2160 hertz. Not quite the dimming that we've got on Honor devices, but still pretty good. Um, Connectivity, I've not really had any issues with because we've got Wi-Fi 7, so it's 50% faster with OnePlus's dedicated Wi-Fi chip. Bluetooth 6.0, like honestly, they just went all out on this. Now, some of the things I want to we know it's got great performance, right? So the OS, so we've got OxygenOS 16 based on Android 16. I like OxygenOS, right? Fast and smooth, everything is clean. The one thing that I will say is that we've got 4 years of OS updates and 6 years of security updates, which is respectable, but it's not at the level of the competition. Right now, Google, Samsung, and Honor are offering 7 years of OS and security updates. So this kind of lags a little bit behind there. So that's a little bit of a negative. We've got Mindspace, the AI, OnePlus has a big emphasis on this. It it does work and it's pretty cool. Um, I would have liked to have seen maybe more generative AI, which I think I do like in some of the newer devices. Seeing things that I would use a little bit more, some more generative AI. Software wise, what we say?
It's cool. Like, software is smooth. Like, as you're talking about software, I was kind of like playing around with it again, and it's very smooth. I think OnePlus has done a good job making Oxygen feel fluid, and it is fast. Like, you see the videos where people open and closing apps or opening and just switching apps. It is super fast and fluid. So that, the combination of the processor, the display, the software itself feels very natural on this device. Um, I think they've done a good job. It kind of reminds me of Pixel OS in a sense, and I'm not a fan of Pixel OS in terms of maybe the smoothness there, but it has its own identity, which I like. So I think it's solid, and they've done a really good job.
Now, battery, you mentioned the battery. So 7,300 milliamp hour silicon NanoStack battery, right? The battery life, let me just tell you, is amazing on here. There's been a battery life test that people have been sharing where it only did like 40 minutes more than the iPhone. And I'm like, you know what? Put these battery tests away because a lot of these battery tests, the people who test them are not doing it properly. If you want to see a battery test, I'm going to wait for Phone Buff's battery test because he's the one who actually tests things in a real world situation, right? But what I can tell you from personal experience is that the battery life has been excellent on the OnePlus 15. I think this is easily, even with heavy use, a full day phone, maybe even up to 1.5 days. For some people, it's going to easily be a 2-day phone.
Yeah. For me, I'll give you my battery tip. And I'll combine this technically with the Oppo, just because I
Yep.
was shooting with both of them when I was in Mexico. Doing a lot of camera comparison shooting, just a lot of, like, some fun stuff. Battery life while shooting photos and videos was a day and a half.
There you go.
Now, in terms of like regular use, I would say the Oppo will probably lead it by maybe 30 minutes to an hour. I was able to use the Oppo for 2 days with a SIM card, going on social apps and all that stuff for roughly 2 days. And I just felt like I should charge because it just looked like it wasn't going anywhere at all. Same
It's
thing,
like
same
I was a
thing,
charge for the sake of it.
same thing with the OnePlus. Now, gaming, in terms of gaming battery life, 100%, I played for an hour. It dropped from 100 to 93 on the
There you
OnePlus.
go. There you go. So this is the thing. If you see battery tests look at them properly, see how they're testing it. If they're literally just doing, oh, we're going to play games for an hour, then we're going to put the camera on for an hour. And it's just like once one phone is dead, you're then doing a completely separate task, which this other phone hasn't even been able to do. And then you're basically, it's honestly so annoying. And then people are like, oh yeah, the battery life is not that good. It's like, you know what, just sit back down. Just sit back down. You don't know what you're talking about. Anyway, but you've got 120 watts of SuperVooc charging. So that's 100% charge in 39 minutes. Now, that is faster than most competitors that have smaller batteries, right? So remember, this is going from 0 to 100% in around 40 minutes. Now, it's usually a little bit more, but still, it's filling up that massive 7,300 milliamp hour battery. It's a dual cell battery, so it's split in two. That's one of the reasons why they can get it done so fast, because it's essentially charging both of them at 60 watts each, right? But it can do that in 40 minutes. That's really good. Now, having said that, remember the charger is included in certain regions. It's not included in the box in the UK. It is included in the US, I believe, right?
Yeah, it is included.
Something to keep in mind, again, not the end of the world, not a big deal. 50 watts of AirVooc charging. Battery life, battery charging, amazing. Now, we've been singing a lot of praises for the OnePlus 15. Now, it's not perfect, okay? So let's talk about the cameras. And that's one area where I would say that the cameras are good, not amazing. They're not really going to be on the level of, say, the Vivo X300 Pro, which has amazing cameras. They're not even going to be as good as the Oppo Find X9 Pro, right? Which I would say has better cameras. So we've got a triple 50 megapixel camera setup. In some ways, a lot of people are saying it's a bit of a downgrade. The pictures are good. They're sharp. They've got this Detail Max engine thing going on. So you do have, I would say, good detail. I'm not seeing the consistency between the different cameras. So, you know, when you're going from the ultra wide to the primary to the telephoto, I think that's something that they definitely need to work on with software updates. So that's something that I would say it does need a bit of an update. What I did like was the AI zoom. So it does have AI zoom. So you can go in like 100x and it's going to use AI. Doesn't need an internet connection. It's going to be doing that on device and it's going to be processing similar to what we've seen on the likes of the Google Pixels. So it's going to be able to grab detail from places where there isn't detail using AI, which I quite liked.
Yeah, I agree with you with the camera. I think the camera is good. And honestly, I think some of that narrative has to change. I think maybe on video is, of course, where almost everybody in Android needs work on in general. But I think the camera is good enough that if you're on vacation, you're taking photos, you're out with friends, you're not going to really be bothered about the camera. This is not like the OnePlus. Was it like the 10 or 11 where you're like, oof, this is rough, right? The camera is improved. Yes, it's not at the level of where Vivo has taken it. And to be fair, Vivo has 3 chipsets tied onto that MediaTek just to get what they're doing on there.
Yeah, exactly.
So there's a lot more expenditure into place. I remember OnePlus is pricing this device slightly less than what you're expecting from, the big boys. So put that in mind.
This is the thing. I think perspective is important, and that nicely brings us onto the price, because if you're somebody that I want the best of best cameras, right, then get the Vivo X300 Pro, or get the Oppo Find X9 Pro as well. Has amazing cameras. The OnePlus isn't the device that you're going to be jumping to get for the cameras, right? However, if you want excellent battery life, display, performance, all of these things, then this is a great option for a reasonable price. Now, looking at the pricing, UK pricing, starting price is £849. That's for the 12 gigabytes of RAM with 256 gigabytes of storage. For the 512 gigabytes of storage with 16 gigabytes of that LPDDR5X Ultra Plus RAM, it is £979. However, OnePlus actually have an offer until I think it's the 12th of December, and they are putting that price down to £879. Now, if we compare that to, say, the Oppo Find X9 Pro, which starts at £1,100, I mean, that is quite a saving, and especially because you are getting the larger storage version with 16 gigabytes of RAM. I believe in the US, it's $899 for the 256 and $999 for the 512.
Yes. And also bear in mind, and I think we have to put this in some weird perspective, even though it's not technically the case. This is the base OnePlus, not a Ultra, a Pro, a Plus or anything like that. Compared to everybody else, whether it's a Vivo, whether it's a Samsung, whether it's even Apple, if you compare this OnePlus, if you took the OnePlus 15 compared to the Vivo 300, the Galaxy S25, the iPhone 17, this is a better device.
Well, this is the thing. I think normally people will be like, let's compare it to the big boys. No, you should be comparing this, like, literally the price is £50 more than an iPhone 17, right? Which is $899. So if we're comparing like for like, it's like, yeah, that's more of a comparison. Or if you compare it to, say, the S25 Plus, or when the S26 Plus comes out, that's more of a comparison. If you're comparing it with the Ultras, which are starting at £1,200, or, even 1,300 in some cases, then it's not really fair. And that begs the question, will OnePlus make an Ultra version? I don't think so, but maybe that's what they need to do. They're like, okay, this is the version that we're going for here. This is what ticks all of these boxes. But if you want to spend £200 to £300 more, then you're going to get the cameras. You're going to get the Oppo level of cameras onto this.
I agree with you. I think that's a nice idea. I also feel like maybe OnePlus should actually just make one version of the OnePlus, 16 gigabytes, and take a $100 hit and just put it at $899. Case closed.
Well, they are kind of doing that here in the UK, right? Because they're slashing it by £100, right? So maybe they need to, maybe because they're including the charger, it's like, no, you Americans get the charger included, so we ain't taking any more hits, right? But in the UK, it's like, yeah, you don't get the charger, but $879 is a great deal. And that is why it's actually made one of my top 5 smartphones of 2025. I realize that this podcast is going live after videos live, so there's not going to be any spoilers unless you've not seen it yet.
Yeah.
But, I think it's a great deal. Full disclaimer, I did work with OnePlus on some coverage of the OnePlus 15, and that was an amazing partnership because I was like, you know what, I really like this device. It's really good. So, bring it on. Like, those are the perfect partnerships where you actually really, really like a device and you want to cover it as it is, and then you actually get to do a partnership. So OnePlus 15, great device. We can definitely recommend it. And if you do pick it up before December the 12th, you'll actually get an even better deal on it.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think it's definitely worth picking up. And, I like this version of OnePlus. I like the fact that OnePlus is quote unquote taking risk and just giving us something a little bit different.
They're going back to their roots with fast and smooth performance. Now, okay, now people are just going to say I'm getting paid by them, which I was, but this part is not. This is just my honest opinions.
Right.
Anyway. You can send me the check in the mail. Do people still use checks?
Yeah, they do. They do.
In America, they probably do. In the UK.